Howdy friends, Brian Fleshig, Mad River Outfitters in the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools. Coming at you from the home office, my backyard, where you can see it's early September. I've been doing some practicing. Still not very good, but been practicing in honor of our recently departed dear friend. And as many of you already know, on August 26th, just a few weeks ago, we lost our friend, our mentor, our spiritual leader, and Mad River Outfitters' biggest supporter, and that was the legendary Mr. Flip Pallot. And before I go any further and talk about our grief, my grief, our pain, I've got to mention that it pales in comparison to his wife Diane Pallot, who we dearly loved, who he dearly loved, and is suffering horribly. His daughter Brooke, his granddaughter Sarah, and his brother Scott. Our thoughts go out to them. I can't even imagine the grief, the pain that they're experiencing. As many of you know, it was completely unexpected. He passed away during some surgery. We did not expect it at all. He did not expect it at all. I talked to him just a few nights before. We were working on some projects together, which you'll still hear about. But as I said, he was a mentor to me for many, many years, and there will be many, many stories to come. Lots of stories. But I'll tell you just a couple here. And in fact, we recently, we were sitting around in his driveway where we taught the most recent iteration of our schools together. And we were sitting around and trying to figure out exactly when we met. And it turns out it was 1999. So I don't even know how many years that makes now, but a long time. That, quite frankly, again, he was my friend, my mentor, but he was also my compass. He was my compass when it came to business. He was my compass when it came to fishing. And he was my compass when it came to my life, my personal life. And I've lost my compass. So I'm going to have to find my own way forward. And I'm sure I will. But I hope, as he promised one time he told me, he said, Brian, I'm going to be here to guide you. And then he said, even when I'm gone, he said, I'll still be guiding you. And I certainly feel that way. I certainly hope that's the case. It's a really funny story on how we met, in fact, at our schools. In fact, Flip and I started teaching schools alongside of one another in 2005. And we originally did the schools at destinations. We did a few at the Andros Island Bonefish Club. We did a few in Florida. And then we would also run these trips. We did this South Florida sampler, and we had folks come down. We'd gang up at a hotel, fish the Everglades, fish the Upper Keys. We'd fish Biscayne Bay. And man, those trips were just, wow, just legendary. But anyways, when we were doing these schools, the most recent iteration, which was, I believe we started them in 2022 after COVID. And it was a brilliant idea. Flip said, hey man, let's revive the schools and let's do them in my driveway. So he and Diane opened their home, their backyard, to a handful of select students that were able to join us the past 4 years in these schools. And we would often, Friday night, we would have a kind of a meet and greet cocktail party. We'd build a campfire, and we would always tell the story about how our friendship came to be. And it involved Lefty, and it involved a fax machine, and it was always really, really funny. I loved and looked so forward to those nights in his driveway with those groups, and we could tell these stories. I believe we have at least one iteration of that story of he and I standing around the campfire with the group and telling that story, and we will certainly show that to you at some point in the future, as well as plenty of other footage that we have of Flip. But another quick story, and this is probably somewhere around 2006 or 2007, and we were fishing somewhere, and it was close to his home, and we blew a tire on the boat trailer, and he didn't have a spare. So we wound up calling his neighbor, and his neighbor went to Tractor Supply to get a wheel for us, and so we were sitting in the cab of his truck for 45 minutes on the side of the road, and I remember asking him, I said, Flip, why am I here? Why am I sitting in the cab of this truck with one of the legends, not only of the sport of fly fishing, but of the outdoor world, of the archery world? Why am I here? And he basically said to me he said, Brian, when a man dies, that a library burns down with him. And he said, I want to make sure that my library doesn't burn down when I die. And the brilliant thing that Flip did is it wasn't just me, of course. There were so many others that he passed his wisdom, his knowledge onto. I mean, I could just go down the list. There's Rob Fordyce, there's Oliver White, there's John Tarr. There's so many other people that he passed these things down to ensure that his library would not burn down. And I can speak for myself, and I think those other people that I mentioned, and then some, Eddie Nickens, goodness gracious, the list just goes on and on of close friends that he took under his wing and he mentored. And I know that we're not going to let his library burn down. And I know we're going to carry his vision forward. And I know, just as Lefty passed it to him, he passed it to us. And we're going to continue passing it on through all the different channels that we have. You've not seen the last of Flip Pallot here on our YouTube channel, I can promise you that. We have some very, very special footage. There was an episode that we filmed together last year, a bass fishing episode we filmed in Georgia. And the idea is that we were going to put it together like a Walker's Cay Chronicles, and Flip was going to narrate it. Well, at this point, I think I'll have to narrate it, and I'll be narrating it from a different perspective. But you will see that footage eventually. There were also, we had a lot of irons in the fire. We were working with Hank Manley, to come out with a Flip Pallot. Oh, by the way, this is my original. I've been sporting my original, which is the pair that Flip gave me in 2005. We were filming Flip Pallot's Fishing the Keys, and I showed up with a different brand of pliers, and Flip shook his head, and he said, Brian, he said, if they're not manly pliers, they're girly pliers. This is the original pair that he gave me along with this sheath, and I've been sporting these recently. I kind of retired them not too long ago, but they're back for a while. So anyhow, we were working on a Flip Pallot signature pair of pliers with manly pliers. There's some really cool face mask products through Innovative Performance Apparel that I believe you're going to see. We were revamping the old mangrove bag. That's a project I'm going to try to finish in his honor. It was something that he really wanted to get this mangrove bag back out onto the market, and I'll be proud to finish that project. So, like I said, there are so many others that feel our pain, that are grieving, and it's going to be a lifetime of grieving. To be honest with you, I'll never get over the loss that we've always experienced, and I know others that were close to him, like I said, Rob, Oliver, Johnny Lucier, for crying out loud. I mean, so many of his buddies that you maybe never heard of that he hunted with. Todd Fuller. Todd does the Doing Shit Right website. So many people that have been so greatly affected, but I know we'll carry the torch. So there's a bunch of us that are putting our torches together, and we're going to carry that flame forward. I know it. That's what he wanted. That's what he taught us. And that's what we will do. So just like with Lefty, I know I mentioned Lefty's name a lot. Lefty had a big influence on my early career. Lefty had a big influence on my life. Lefty taught me a lot personally and through his teachings and writings. And then I was lucky to become friends with Flip and to become his business partner, so to speak, and bringing you some of the products that you've seen and teaching side by side with him for all those years. And yeah, I'm gonna miss all that horribly. But as he said, you know, just as he guided me when he was here and pointed me around the right path, I know that he'll still be here guiding me down each path. And when I get to a fork in the road, I know he's going to help me, just as he will help so many others. And he'll help you all. So together, let's raise a glass of Frigate Reserve rum or whatever beverage you prefer in honor of who I believe is one of the greatest outdoorsmen of all time. Not just fly fishermen, but outdoorsmen. There's no question the world is not as good today as it was on August 25th. But we can still find good in it, and that's what he would have wanted us to do. And he would want all of us to carry forward and carry his vision forward. So sad times, friends, and this was a video that I dreaded having to make, but I knew I was probably going to have to make it at some point in my life. I just didn't know I was going to be making it in 2025. You know, our schools for 2026 were already sold out, and we had a very special trip lined up for December. Flip and I were hosting 14 folks to Cuba, which is a place that he had visited when he was a youngster. His father had some business dealings there and would take he and Scott to Cuba, but he had never fished there. And I finally talked him into it this past spring. For those of you that are on his mailing list, you saw the video that we made inviting folks to join us in Cuba. And the Cuba trip moves forward. And every single person has agreed that they're going and that we will honor Flip. And we're going to be filming that. The idea was we were going to film Flip and Brian go to Cuba. Now it's obviously going to be a tribute video. Our good friend Blaine, I'm so sorry I haven't mentioned Blaine. Flip absolutely loved Blaine chocolate, respected him. In fact, in an interview not too long ago, someone asked Flip, they said, who do you respect most in the fly fishing industry? And he said, Blaine chocolate. And Flip loved Blaine. Flip and I and Blaine did a school, I think it was 2 years ago, right about now. We did a fly tying school, something a little different for Flip. But Blaine is going to take Flip's spot. Big shoes to fill. He knows he's not going to fill those completely, but Blaine's going to join us on the Cuba trip. And you'll see a lot of footage from that. Todd Fuller's going along to film. And so you're going to be seeing a lot of Flip moving forward. We will honor him just like we honored Lefty, like we honored our great friend Dave Whitlock, and so many others that we've lost, so many of our heroes that we've lost. But it's our job to keep moving forward. And here at Mad River Outfitters, we will bring those products to market on his behalf. He would have wanted us to do that. You will continue to see Flip here on our YouTube channel. You will continue to hear the lessons that he taught us, that he taught me. He will be a huge part of the book, which he was pushing me to get done, and was an inspiration for. So he may be gone from us physically, friends, but he's not gone from our hearts, and he's not gone from our minds. He'll pretty much live forever in my world, and I'll do my best to make sure that he lives forever in your world. So again, our thoughts and prayers go out to Diane, to Brooke, to Sora, to Scotty, and to all of the people that loved Flip. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. We feel your pain, but again, nowhere near what Diane and the family are going through. So please keep them first and foremost in your thoughts and prayers. And together, let's all join together and let's remember our dear, dear friend, Flip Pallot, who, in the words of Eddie Nickens, I think the only thing Flip would have asked for was a life lived fiercely true. I think those are the words. Flip just asked that we lived a life fiercely true. And if we can come anywhere close to that, then we've done him well. So thanks as always, friends. Again, sorry to be so long-winded, but this is something that was very, very important to us, to honor this man. I'm not sure that I've even come close to honoring him. I know you'll see a lot of videos like this moving forward, but certainly had to be done. He was such a big part of Mad River Outfitters. He was such a big part of my life and my career. I just can't say enough. So thanks as always for being here. We appreciate you. We wouldn't be here today if it weren't for you all. And like I said, stay tuned, because there's plenty of more Flip Pallot to come. So in his words, as everybody has said, in his famous words, bye for now.
Well, we should make sure it's all right.
Oh, man, Flip, have you ever been so excited?
No, I mean, oh my God.
Let me see.
It is like all wet, like they hosed it out.
Oh, he did. He hosed it out. Look at that.
Oh my God.
That should fit perfectly right in there.
Is there toilet paper?
Oh, this is the I've never. Yes, there's toilet paper.
Oh my God!
Look at this. You guys, this is so exciting.
I'm so excited for
Shut
you.
up, both of you.
Best school ever.
Oh my God!
Seriously.
All right.
I mean, look.
No, give me your phone.
Howdy, friends. It's just like butter.
Do you mind if I join you?
Come on, everybody, come on in.
Mind if I join you?
Yeah.
Hi.
So much fun. See, this is what you get when you come to the Flip Pallot Brian Fleshig Mad River Outfitters School here in Florida.
Making shit right.